Okay, go.
What do you think of when you hear the word monster? Scary, unpredictable, maybe even life-threatening. These are all natural reactions. Human instinct. Monsters come in many different forms, whether they're the big spotted monsters that live under your bed, or someone so twisted they don't even seem human. Regardless of the type, monsters are called monster for a reason, usually because they pose a threat to society of some kind. How would you feel if you were forced to live in a society where monsters freely roam the streets?
We are here to discuss whether the monster should be a productive member of society. But let's first talk about his background. The monster truly does not own any of his body parts, even his brain. We've all read the story by now. So he's a combination of different body parts that honestly don't belong to him, which we just went over. He didn't go through a natural birth or a life cycle as us humans, normal people, did. Instead, the monster was created and shunned by his creator, rejected ultimately by society. So then he retaliated by killing Dr. Frankenstein's loved ones, as well as his family members, and had no regret for it. The truth of the matter is the monster is an outcast. He couldn't care less what's going on because he doesn't understand how to deal with certain things. He never stood a chance of being a member of society, due to no one ever teaching him what's right or wrong.
There's no denying the facts. The monster was a murderer. He intentionally hunted down and murdered multiple innocent people. In today's society, he would be considered a serial killer. Anyone else that committed these crimes would be sent to jail, if not even put to death. The monster was fully aware of what he was doing and acted out of rage and revenge. Would someone that impulsive and unsafe really be productive in society? In addition to being a murderer, the monster had much more strength and ability than the average human being. Consider characters such as Wreck-It Ralph and Hercules. Both characters had much more strength than average and didn't always know what to do with it. While they meant well, they still ended up doing harm. The same could be said for the monster. Whether he means well, he still doesn't know his own strength, and therefore may end up doing more good than harm, or more harm than good. And then there's the fact that the monster just doesn't look like the rest of us. You know that phrase, don't judge a book by its cover? We've all heard it before, and while we all try not to, it's still something we do. Imagine if you're a parent taking your young children to the park, and you see a huge, strange, scarred man walking by himself. You most likely would keep an eye on him and your children far away from him, out of fear for your safety. Or imagine you're a young teenager walking out by yourself. If you see a strange man that doesn't quite look like he fits in, you go out of your way to avoid him. It's human nature. We all try not to discriminate, yet somehow we still do. We are all wary of the things that stand out. The people that don't look like us make us uneasy, and the things that make us uneasy we avoid. Even if the monster were able to function like a human being, he still would be avoided by the rest of society. How could someone that is ignored and feared by society possibly be productive in it?
Now, some might argue that Frankenstein had a chance in society. I mean, he did educate himself, as well as reading, speaking, and communication, due to him living in the villager's house for a long period of time. But the monster has no concept of morals. He doesn't know right from wrong. He acts on impulse. And without having a mentor or a teacher or even a parent to guide you through all the experiences in life, you wouldn't know where to go. Now, picture a child, or even picture yourself at a young age. If you didn't have any parents, guardian, grandparents, friends, to learn and teach you and comfort you and secure you, you would not have gone this far without being destructive, uncontrollable, outgoing, loud, chaotic. I mean, come on now. You're a walking ball of destruction. And that's honestly what the monster was.
Let's face it, a monster is called a monster for a reason. They just don't fit in. The monster lacks the mental capability and coping mechanisms to be productive and safe in society. He's a proven killer and therefore has forfeited his chances to be included in society. If it were any other person with the same story, any reasonable person would say no.
I mean, picture Ted Bundy or even the Zodiac Killer. They're all serial killers. They all were members of society. But the real question would be, how come the monster would be a member of society? I mean, he's a killer just like the rest of them. What's so different?